Destiny Hillsman, 25, a Houston teacher at Holland Middle School, was arrested and charged for grooming, texting, and kissing middle school girls. 34-year-old Teacher of the Year, Jacqueline Ma, arrested for alleged SA of former student. 31-year-old Connecticut married lunch lady arrested after having relations with 14-year-old and sending nudes. And then we already know about the 31-year-old teacher who is not facing any criminal charges after being impregnated by her 14-year-old male student. Before I get into this conversation, I just want to ask a genuine question. For the women who always talk about, it's the men, all men are bad, men are so dangerous, and, we shouldn't have to live like this. We shouldn't have to be in a society where we always have to protect ourselves against men because, men are the monsters and men are always doing stuff because men themselves are up to no good. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Where's that energy? I have sat in this space constantly talking about how we need to have a balanced gaze, right? And it's so interesting because a lot of women who come to these channels and, you male identified, you always supporting men and you always this and you always that, even when they wrong you on their side, which is not true. They always talk about, the imbalance of the conversation that I have, right? But when it comes to women looking a certain way, they all go silent. Can't find them. Crickets. Nowhere to be found. They don't want to be a part of these conversations because these women are exposing the nature of toxic women. They're also displaying how imperfect these perfect women who are without shame, without blame, can't do no wrong are. And a lot of other women don't want to be a part of the conversation. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Children are sent to school and they're trusted with these people that you don't know. They're trusted with strangers. But I think it's time, especially right now, when every time you go on the news or every time you pull up something, you see a new female teacher being charged or being outed about these situations. I think it's time that we have a serious conversation about what's going on. These things are not coincidental. These things are things that are happening that people don't want to talk about. We need to talk about the things that women do when it comes to children as well. Because if there was men who were in these headlines, we would see it everywhere. We'd see it on the news. We'd see every time we look somewhere, we would see it. Women need that same energy. I said it before. I was on social media and I saw a woman who was looking for a babysitter for her children on Facebook. She put an ad on Facebook. Oh, if you guys know any recommendations, let me know. We need date night. How can you possibly send out there a label of if anybody has any, possible experience or whatever? You're seeking somebody who is a stranger that you do not know with no credentials to come and watch your children. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all think that men are the only ones who are capable of making or doing things that are unjust, for lack of better words. How do you think that it's impossible for women to be capable of these same things? I believe about a year and a half ago, maybe a year ago, I did a reaction video of a comedian who was talking about what he went through as a child. And how there was no support for him because he was a male. And it's like, oh, you a player because, she doing this and she doing that to you. Like, you look like you lame or you're whack if you speak out against it because you're a man and you should man up, even if you're 10 years old or 5 years old. If a woman comes on to you, you're supposed to get stripes for it. You hear what I'm saying? Do you hear the age I'm saying? It's crazy. Even more than crazy, it's heartbreaking. Heartbreaking that we have to witness it. Heartbreaking that when it comes to women doing things that people sweep it under the rug. Heartbreaking that when it comes to children, I personally feel like people should get the fullest extent of the law. And we saw a 31-year-old teacher who, nothing, probation. This is sick. And to the single mothers out there, mainly y'all. Because let me tell you something, okay? I'm just going to keep it real. You see, the reason why I say mainly single mothers is because even if a man is a single father, men have a certain handle on certain things, right? Men who are fathers. I'm not talking about the men who, you done been with, he didn't even want the baby. You throw the baby on him and he trying to figure it out, trying to juggle. I'm talking about men who are fathers. Not the baby daddy. Fathers. They have a handle on things. They watch things keenly. Why my daughter wearing makeup? Why is she doing this? Why is she going there? Who that? Who you hanging out with? Like, men are very like that. You see, women, y'all be wanting to break so bad, y'all just throw them on to anybody who's available. Your homegirl, your friend's friend. It's sickening. This whole scenario reminded me of a video that I'm going to go ahead and play for you guys. I'm going to insert it so you guys can hear the things that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning of the Players Club when Ronnie saw Diamond inside the shoe store. And I guess as like a retired, semi-retired 304 that I be going through the same thing. Because I see young, beautiful girls in valet and Starbucks, McDonald's, and I be looking at them like, why are you in here? You got so much potential. What are you doing in here? Like, but I don't do it because a lot of people look down on certain things and a lot of girls are scared and a lot of people are comfortable where they are and that's just not for them because it honestly isn't for everyone. But I'd be like, all that potential you have and you just throwing it to the wind. Like, who you gonna date? You're gonna have your boyfriend, your coworker? I guess I just be wanting to help girls take over the world. All pretty girls take over the world. But there's street and there's sidewalks and the street ain't for everyone. That's why there's sidewalks.
Think about that. Just think about that. You have women who are so out of their nurturing frame. And let me tell you something. I could have a really deep conversation about this, but I'm going to say that for a later date. Because there's a lot that I've seen, especially on social media, when it comes to how women are relating to their own children. Okay? But to know that there's women out there, a lot of women put trust in other women, right? They prefer to have their children around other women. They prefer to, it's a female teacher, she's going to pick her up and she's going to drop her off and, she's going to take her to practice and she's going to do this and she's so cool and I'm so glad we can carpool. And they put all of these trust in other women instead of looking at these other people through the gaze that they should look at other men as well. Because it's rare that you're going to hear a teacher say, oh, yeah, her soccer coach, he came and he picked her up and he took her there. No, they're going to be a little bit more apprehensive because it's a male, right? How about you keep the same level playing field and you're just apprehensive because these are other people? You don't know their upbringing. You don't know their backstory. You don't know their traumas. You don't know their problems. You don't know the things that they're dealing with underlying. You don't know because you don't know them. How about we look at men and women the same way? How about we do that? Because to think that a lot of women are trusting other women who are looking at them as a way of, oh, well, she could do way better than this job. I could see her doing this. I could see her doing that. As if it's a flex. As if, submitting yourself into a form that people have to pay you to experiencing you is a flex. We hear how many people go through it and do it and talk about the turmoil they experience. And you be seeing people working a regular job and you wish you could tell them, or maybe sometimes you do, tell them, oh, well, you could be doing this, well, you could be doing that. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing. All of these things that we're talking about is all under one title. It's all the same. Level playing field. This is crazy. Women are so far away from their feminine nature, right? And a lot of these women can't keep relationships with people their own age, can't keep, a certain dialogue, or can't have open communication. They're the same ones talking about they degree in this and why they won't submit to no man. And they open themselves up to experience them, like the likes of themselves as in other women. And then they start to look at these younger children and be like, oh, well, I like the way he this. I like the way I love his youth. I love this. I love the. It's sick. It's sick. What happened to women being nurturing and caring and looking at all children as if they're their own? Looking at children from a mothering gaze. What happened to that? Where is that? Am I the only one that got it? It's sickening. It's sick. And I love the fact that, there's these images out there as well. And the names are released so people can know. It's shameful. Heartbreaking. These are children. Okay? Whether they know what you're talking about or not, whether they're have experience with people that are their age or not, whether you feel like they so mature for their age or not, they're children. The same energy that y'all have for the R&B singer, is the same energy y'all need to have for situations like this. Speak up. Talk about it. Make it uncomfortable for them. That's how it should be. As a community, that's how it should be. Because if it's a man, his face is posted everywhere. It's displayed. Everybody know what's going on. Everybody know the whole scenario. I'm glad these things are coming to the surface. And at school, these things are happening. Think about this. At school. So not only do you got to worry about the enemies outside, but you got to worry about the enemies inside. The people that you're supposed to be, trusting to teach them, to allow them to learn things, to keep them in line, are plotting. Sick. It's so sick. So sick. But that's my opinion on this, guys. Like I said, there's a lot more that I could say. There's a lot more context that I could bring to these conversations. But I have to leave it here. This is so upsetting. So upsetting. Beyond. And you know what it is? It's the fact that every single day it's a new woman coming up. Every single day for the past 4 or 5 days. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to have a deeper conversation, like I said, about this. You know, in that video that I did where it came to, you know, the comedian, I think it was D-Ray Davis, who was talking about his problems or his trauma, you know, there was so many men that came up and spoke about things that have happened to them and how it was never rectified or people never dealt with it because of the same reasons that I said in this video. And it's so hurtful. It's so hurtful because a lot of people, again, turn a blind eye to women and will villainize men. And it's so funny because sometimes the person that you would rather villainize is the person who's not going to do or wouldn't harm. And the person that seems so nice and cool and caring is the one that you trust. Instead of just having everything from a logical scope. Again, keeping everybody at the level playing field of the fact that you don't know these people. Whether male or female. It's heartbreaking. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this crazy video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you.